Hello everyone and welcome back to DCS World, Enigma's Cold War server and the Mig-21 fish bed. Forgive my voice today, I do have a streaming cold, hopefully that's not coming over too badly. But today I've got a very exciting video. As you've probably seen from the title of the video, I got my first ace in the Mig-21 and wanted to share that with you. And I was just flying out on my own for this one, so instead of the normal back and forth commentary, I'm going to do a voiceover commentary, thinking about what I've learned from each of these engagements, what I can take forward onto the next one. Anyway, let's jump into it. So here we are on the first sortie. I've just got within 30 kilometers, which is my tripwire of a Tiger II. Got him on my radar. They're right at the edge of lock range. There's a 2-ship that was reported previously. Now it's just one that was reported. There we go, a 2-ship has just tripped my tripwire, same direction. At this point I'm thinking that is just those same 2 planes just kind of overlapping. I do manage to get a lock on one here. Try and get visual since it's a lot easier to maintain the lock if you get visual contact. He dips just below this ridge up ahead. I decide that I should probably dip below as well. I'm expecting him to come up above the ridge at any moment, so I'm trying to scan that ridge. Get another tripwire of a Warthog and another tripwire of a Tiger II. So I get a bit worried here that I am heading into rather the Hornet's Nest. I do briefly get infrared tone on something up ahead. I get a lock on something up ahead. Just see it there, just off my nose. But he dips down again beyond the buildings, so I lose lock. Going in, reacquire lock, but he's dropping to the deck really very fast, so there's not much I can do there. But here I end up merged with multiple different Tiger IIs. See something just get splashed. Turns out that is one F5 being splashed by another F5. I didn't realise that quite at the time. I was just aware that I was being very much outnumbered at this point. Multiple planes flying around. I do spend my time a little too head down, but do see a friendly hind in the area. Also see a missile right behind me, so begin dumping flares. Not sure if that missile was aimed at me or someone else in this giant melee, but I do get eyes here on one contact. Zoom in to confirm that it is an F5. Just trying to keep a little bit more vertical here, trying to keep my altitude advantage so that I can pay it in here, get a little sharper turn as I go down. I do wing stall there, which screws up my attack, and start turning back in on him. All seems to be lining up okay, but I'm struggling to get sidewinder tone here, and by the time I do get a consistent tone, the angle is really off. To be very, very lucky for a missile to try and hit there, and there he goes down. I get a bit confused at the time, didn't really see what that was. I believe that was a hind, but nicely while trying to look at the shooter, I see that there was this other F5 right behind me. My target may have been trying to drag me out a little bit in order to open up the shot for this guy. By the way, that was a hind that got the first one, it's just showing up in the kill feed. See the guy behind me launching again, and then he goes down in flames. Again to the same hind. So I am very lucky, very happy with that hind pilot. So that is Mikey00, thank you very much. I gave a little shout there in voice chat just to thank the guy for saving me twice. And I see these tracer rounds as someone goes in for guns on the guy who just saved me, which is absolutely not on. So turning on him, he starts dumping a lot of flares, but I wasn't actually launching at that point. The angle wasn't great for it. Cross behind him here, someone fires a missile. That wasn't actually me intentionally jinking there, that was just me losing control. This guy seems very focused on his target, not very focused on anything else in the area. So after I just get a visual confirmation this is still the F5 and not a friendly, I fire off one of my Fox 2s. Pretty sharp angle, but good track there, good hit, and nicely clear the tail of that Mirage just off my nose. So yeah, pretty good start to the sortie, somehow survived being very outnumbered, almost entirely due to that hind back there. I'm pretty low on fuel at this point, so decided to RTB, even though I've only fired one missile. I was after burning most of that time. So reset, fly up again, and start looking for more targets. This time I get vectored in on a Warthog here. You can see there's rather a lot of activity right off my nose. Most of them are friendly. And at this point I begin to dither. I get another call in that there is a tiger coming from the left. I decide that this Warthog is currently surrounded by friendlies, so he's as good as dead, and the tiger is a bigger threat, so I turn towards the tiger. Just checking directions, making sure I'm not about to overfly enemy SAMs. See a target ahead, but that is friendly Su-25 making a run. I just confirm that with Overlord. Do notice that the Warthog is now within 11 kilometers and hot on me, so decide that it is actually a bit of a threat at this point. The ball of friendly fighters in the area don't seem to have managed to take him down, and I do get a bit nervous around Warthogs because I play Warthogs a lot. I know they can be really, really dangerous. They absolutely should not be underestimated, and so a Warthog flying hot to me needs to be dealt with. See a friendly there making a failed guns pass on the Warthog. Get the merge call. I'm just double checking between visually IDing the target off my nose as a Warthog and checking that I have locked the thing on my nose and not one of these friendlies. At this point I'm quite confident that this is the Warthog that I've locked within weapons range, far off Fox 1, and although Fox 2s have trouble getting Warthogs, Fox 1s have a brilliant time because Warthogs struggle to manoeuvre. They get hit and his wing comes off, and if his wing's off, that's the Warthog dead. Warthog can absolutely tank a missile straight to the back, it can't tank a missing wing. And a little bit later, I then get a call about a Tiger 2 in the area. This is the same Tiger 2 that's heading in before. Can't get visual on him, I'm merged. He zooms right by my cockpit. He was just behind the fencing there. But thankfully that's him going in there. He just crashed. I don't know what happened. I think he may have wing ripped while trying to get guns on me or behind me. But anyway, after a bit more uneventful hunting, I do get a call out for two Warthogs in the area. They're recently taken off from Alquiser, which is on the other side of this lake. And again, just trying to stay low here, mostly to give my own radar better view, because I know that the Warthogs will be staying low, and it's really hard to get radar contact if they're close to the ground and you're above them. Trying something a little bit different here. I am well within lock range of this guy. I could lock him up, but I'm not within weapon range, and I know that the Warthog has a really good RWR, so I'm trying not to give this guy too much heads up. I will be appearing on his RWR at this point, but I'm hoping to stay kind of off his threat radar here, making sure that He's not too worried about me. He does fire on a friendly there, so I decide to go in and really commit to this guy. I merge with him, which means if he's using Overlord, he's just got the merge call. A second Warthog merges, so I need to end this quite quickly here. See him exchanging fire with a friendly there, but nothing too much seems to happen. I struggle to get my missile on him, flip over to Fox 2's. He starts dumping flares. I decide at this point to go in for guns. Had a shot, but realised I didn't actually arm the guns after rearming at the airfield. So there's a lesson, everyone. Arm your bloody gun. So at this point I am worried a bit because I've just overshot him, which is a very dangerous thing to do with a Warthog. They can just pitch their nose up. Also accidentally entered beam lock mode at some point. That is a mistake that I'll keep making. There the Warthog just splashed a friendly Mig-21, and this is what I mean. You cannot take Warthog kills for granted. These are dangerous, dangerous planes, especially on the Syria loadout with 4 AIM-9Ps. They can do a lot of damage. So I see him here. He is flaring. He is very, very low. Unclear if he's trying to RTB, if he's trying to ditch. He doesn't visually look damaged, but he is really slow, really low. But I don't give him the chance to try and make an emergency landing here. Just go in for guns. That's enough to damage him, so then he just smacks into the ground. Get a nice little gun skill there. A little bit cheeky, but better to make sure he's in the ground. I've seen Warthogs go back with one engine on fire, one engine half destroyed. They can still fly pretty damn well, so until it's got a wing off or it's in the ground, I don't consider a Warthog dead. So at this point I'm trying to get bogey dopes. I'm in the 30-second cooldown for the text lord. Try and get it from voice overlord. I think I must have been losing my voice a little bit listening to the recording here, and so overlord is struggling to hear me. Do have a Warthog coming in and a Tiger 2. Again, I'm a bit worried about this close range Warthog, even though he is beamed to me. Managed to lock up something here, but it's something that's closing a lot faster than the Warthog should be able to. Try again to get visual there, using the radar to get my nose pointed in the right direction. But struggling to actually pick him up visually. In weapon range here, let's fire my second Fox 1. I did take 2 Fox 1s out for a change this time. Struggling to see him, but just using my radar to keep my nose on, and there we go, get a splash. That was actually the Tiger that was coming in. And so this is really what I'm starting to love about these R3Rs. They really are good at that kind of head-on pass. Tigers just seem to never expect you to fire at them in a head-on pass, even if they're getting that radar lock warning. They also really don't seem to maneuver that much, so I've been getting quite a lot of kills with R3Rs lately, so I've switched my default loadout to 2 R60s and 2 R3Rs. Anyway, I had to end that run there because I was out of vodka for my radar, so had to RTB to repair and refuel, so they top up the radar coolant. There are a couple of Fulcrums in the area here that took off just before me. Couple of Tiger 2s. And so trying to get in on this one. At this point I've got 4 kills so far on this life, so I'm aware that I'm 1 off the ace I know I messed up last time I was hunting for an ace, so trying to be a bit more cautious here. Fortunately, there goes a friendly. So turn towards the remaining contact, which is just enemy, just off my nose here. Unfortunately, the one I'm tracking is turning cold and running. There is one off to my left, which was hot. Now he starts to turn a little more sharply into me. I'm lagging behind him a little bit too much here. I fire, and the problem is that this really isn't a good angle for the missile. Fired a little bit without enough lead there, so that missile's trashed. He managed to keep the lock on him throughout most of this turn though. But here I don't have the best angle. I fire again, but I miss. Try firing guns. Again, miss that. Try a Fox 2 there, but it decides not to track. Can see that he's right behind this friendly here, so I'm really trying to help out the friendly, but there goes my fourth missile, second Fox 2, and I've now trashed all of them, so I'm no sticks left, only got guns. I do fire there, almost hitting a friendly. That was very dangerous of me, very silly. Unfortunately, if I'd saved one of my Fox 2s for this point, this is a perfect gun missile opportunity. But no such luck. I've got to try and get into a shooting position. He doesn't know that I'm out of Fox 2s there, so he does flare, although that might have been for this friendly farmer that's coming in. Stay a little bit high as the farmer dives in, and the farmer clips that guy's wing off. So yeah, good work from the farmer. Now, I know I'm out of sticks at this point, but I do have a Tiger 2 coming in hot. So turning towards him, trying to get him locked up on radar. If nothing else, I can be a distraction to help the friendlies in the area clear them up, especially if I get them locked, force him to go evasive from me, because there's no way that he can know that I'm out of missiles. So I'm merged with him at this point. See him just off my nose there. Oh, I must have only fired one Fox 1 before, I was just misremembering. Fired another one there, that didn't track at all. I am genuinely out of missiles. Trying to go a little bit high as he zooms in behind me. See more kills in the chat feed of A10s doing their work. They fired a missile at me that I completely didn't see. Not sure if that was the missile or him that passed above my canopy. Either way, very nearly died there. Really kind of lost my situational awareness. I'm not quite sure where this guy is. He fires at me again. That time I do see it and flare. So he's desperately trying to get on me here. There is a farmer in the area. At this point I'm pretty much purely defensive. Just doing my best to tee him up for that farmer to come in and kill, or any of the other friendlies in the area. I know there are friendlies around. Get a call that a Saviour is on the way. This plane does fly in front of me. At this point I'm seeing if I can disengage from this fight. Don't just want to start flying away, otherwise I will be clapped. But this plane passing under me is a Mirage. So I do have another friendly in the area, just trying to get eyes on here. Trying to get some of my speed back, so easing up on the controls, but really trying to keep an eye on my 6. The Tiger's now beamed south to me, so I do have a little bit of room. And there he goes. There's the F5 getting destroyed. Mig-21 cave in and saved me there. So at that point I decide that, okay, I need to get back, I need to rearm, refuel. Even though I've got guns, I was kind of tempted just to stick in the air with guns, but kind of learned my lesson from the F5 flight. So here we are out again. In this case, getting a call into a 2-ship of Tiger 2s. Leaving my radar off, I didn't rearm and refuel after the last one, so I did refuel, sorry, I didn't repair, so the radar doesn't get topped up with its coolant, so I'm just kind of being a bit cautious here, trying not to bleed off all of my coolant. So only turn the radar on when I'm vaguely confident I'm pointing in the right direction. Get decent radar return there. As it gets a bit closer, you can just about see that there's 2 planes flying very close proximity to each other. The Tigers trip my tripwire. Or another Tiger trips my tripwire there. Trying to get visual ID again, and if I can see them I get much easier job firing the Fox 1s. Managed to get one locked up here. This is one of the pair. I don't know whether it's the lead aircraft or the tailing aircraft that I've locked up. You can see one of them off my nose there. A little bit higher than me. That's the one I think I've locked up at this point. Planes going down all over the place, but I'm just trying to keep on this guy, keep my nose on the target. Within weapons range now, so fire. Again, I'm pretty sure it was the lead target. Turns out it wasn't. It was the trailing target, this poor guy, and just smack him out the sky. There we go, first ace in a Mig-21. Really thanks to R3Rs, that's the 3rd R3R kill of this run. Anyway, at this point it is very late at night. There was a whole sortie I skipped out that I just took off and didn't do anything for a while. So not in the best mental state at this point, really just relieved to get the ace. Not flying evasively enough, I've completely lost eyes on this other guy. That is not a good situation to be in when you're a Mig-21 against an F5. Do just see him there, he is right behind me. He still does have his central fuel tank on. So I should have some advantages, but he does clip me there. And I'm not sure entirely what he hit, but there's something very wrong with my controls at this point. He does overshoot, but my plane is severely damaged. I'm just trying to hold it here. As he swings around behind, there's not too much I can do other than try and keep straight, and that lines him up for the perfect shot there. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. Really am liking the R3Rs. They really do work a lot. I used to not have a great opinion of them because they really don't turn very well. But if you do get an opponent who doesn't maneuver when he gets locked, they just line up these really nice quick kills. So yeah, definitely enjoyed that. Definitely some things I can learn going ahead. Arm my bloody gun for one. And if you have any tips for me, please do just leave them down below. Otherwise, I hope to catch you in the next video. Until then, remember to be kind to yourself and everyone else. Cheers.